Welcome to Brutally Honest, the unbiased, unbought, and unapologetic review show. Today we're talking about Rise of the Ronin, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Stay tuned. Rise of the Ronin is an action RPG made by Team Ninja. It takes place in Japan between 1853 and 1867, right at the end of the Edo period. The game immerses you in the real-life history and historical figures of that time period and tells a gripping story full of greed, oppression, slaughter, destruction, and rebellion. Many Japanese people believed that the Western influence was ruining Japan, and over time it caused much civil unrest, and eventually a full-on uprising. Believing that the shogunate, or ruling body of Japan at the time, had betrayed them, many anti-shogunate factions emerged and fought against the pro-shogunate factions for control over the country's future. In Rise of the Ronin, you play as an unnamed Ronin, which you create from scratch, or use a number of presets. Saved as a child by a mysterious warrior known only as the Blade Master, you and your sibling were taken in and trained to be what is known as the Veiled Edge. Two warriors trained together to ensure perfect synchronization and unrivaled duality in combat. After a series of events forces you to go on the run, you must wander the land making allies and carving a piece for yourself in the ever-changing landscape of Japan. As I said earlier, you make your character from scratch. You can make your blade twin as well. By default, it is one male and one female, but you can change this any way you want. Leave it how it is and play either gender, or make two males, two females. The choice is yours. You can also change your appearance anytime you want for free at the Longhouse, but more on that later. Rise of the Ronin features 10 different weapons for you to master, as well as 5 ranged weapons and even some utility gadgets. The weapons are katana, dual katana paired swords, spear, greatsword, odachi longsword, saber, oxtail blade, bayonet, the naginata bladed polearm, and even an unarmed martial arts style for those who wish to build a shinobi or monk type build. For ranged weapons, you have the bow and arrow, rifle, pistol, shuriken, and the fire pipe. You also have access to some gadgets such as the earthen balls, which you can throw for distractions, the flash bombs for blinding and disorienting, and the fire bombs for all of your big bada booms. You can even coach your weapons in various effects such as lighting them on fire, poisoning, and even a paralytic. The more you use a weapon, the higher your weapon proficiency will be, and thus, the better you will be with said weapon. Also, the more skills and more powerful skills that will be available to you as well. The combat in this game is very fluid, and can be very unforgiving, especially on higher difficulties. There are 4 different difficulty levels in the game, so there's something for everyone. As far as equipment, you can have 4 weapons equipped at a time. 2 primary and 2 secondary. Each primary weapon has several combat styles or stances that you can use. Each style is different from the others, and each has a weak against, strong against, or neutral to another style, depending on who or what you're fighting. You can have 3 styles equipped per weapon and can change them on the fly at any time. It's very important that you pay attention to which style you're using against whomever you're fighting to maximize your damage output and make short work of your enemies. You can not only see the arrow up, the red arrow down, or the gray double arrow neutral symbol, both down on your stances themselves in the lower right hand corner and also above the enemy's head. There's no doubt what is what. Each weapon also has what's called martial abilities, which are powerful strikes that consume ki. Each weapon has up to 3 martial abilities depending on your proficiency with it, as well as the active style/stance of said weapon. Your ki is basically your power meter, or stamina bar. Blocking, attacking, using abilities, and being hit all consume ki. When your ki runs out, you'll be unable to act for a short time and will be vulnerable, so be careful. This game is absolutely not designed for button mash wins. You need to be strategic and pay attention to the enemies around you. The parry and counter system in the game is called Counter Spark and can make or break you in a fight. Press triangle at the right time to use it, to stop and even stun enemies, leaving them open to a counter offensive. Some stances, such as the shinobi type, can actually cause additional crit damage once the counter spark has been effectively used. Speaking of shinobi, this game has a very nice stealth system and an assassination mechanic similar to that in Assassin's Creed. You can use your grappling hook to pull enemies up onto roofs and assassinate them there, and you can even assassinate from your glider, as well as from bushes, etc. Winning in battles earns you karma, which is what this game calls experience. When you die, however, you lose karma, and a vendetta is created. If you go back and kill the one that killed you, the vendetta will be fulfilled and you'll be given back your lost karma. However, if you lose to the same foe a second time, the lost karma will be gone forever. Also, be careful fighting inside cities, as the game does have a wanted system and the guards will attack you. Throughout the game, you'll find veiled edge banners, which serve as fast travel locations, as well as opening the regions of the map and showing any nearby collectibles and activities. These banners can also be found during missions, but there they serve only as checkpoints and will replenish your medicine and ammo in between fights. There is also a crafting system in the game, as well as an upgrading system for your gear, and even the ability to disassemble your unwanted gear for materials and supplies. I spoke briefly about karma before. As I said, it's the game's experience. The karma will build up on a bar, and every time you visit the Veiled Edge banner, while not in a mission of course, all of your stored karma will be converted into skill points that you can use to gain new abilities and perks. There are 4 different skill trees: strength, dexterity, charm, and intellect. Now there are global skill points that can be used in any tree, but there are also tree-specific skill points that certain abilities require in order to unlock, such as strength skills, charm skills, etc. Early on in the game, you'll be given a longhouse, which will serve as your base of operations for the duration of the game. Here you can decorate your longhouse with various goods you've acquired, talk to the friends you've made along the way, replay old missions, redesign your character any way you want, and change them completely for free. As well as the redesign system, which allows you to customize your armor appearance without sacrificing your stats. Basically, it's a glamour system, but what's really cool about this one is that most of the gear sets can be broken down into individual pieces, and then put back together in various new ways, mix and match, to really give yourself a unique look and style. Very similar to games like Dragon Age and Mass Effect, Rise of the Ronin has a bond system, which allows you to build relationship with those around you. You can talk to them, get to know them, and even give them gifts to strengthen said bond. Taking them on missions with you helps as well. Each character has perks for you to earn with each friendship level, such as emotes, armor, weapons, special weapon styles, and even unique items. There are even loyalty missions for each character. And they go even further and allow you to pursue a romance in the game once your bond is high enough with each character. There are currently 13 different romance options available. The bond system also carries out into the world as a whole, and you can build your bond with each region of the map and its inhabitants, netting you even more cool and unique rewards. Getting all the collectibles, visiting shrines, restoring public order, taking down fugitives, collecting cats, yes, you heard that right, etc., all go towards your bond with the region. There is also an overall bond system with the 2 dominant factions in the game, the pro-shogunate and the anti-shogunate. In the beginning, you can play both sides and get a feel for which one you prefer, but eventually you will be forced to choose a side and continue on from there. There is a replayability feature that allows you to replay old missions and do them differently if you wish to see how both sides play out, Many decisions in this game have lasting effects, and some even have massive repercussions, such as who you kill or don't kill. And I would like to point out, some of your followers will approve or disapprove of some of your decisions. So be mindful of that. Having the ability to replay each and see all the different choices and outcomes is an awesome addition, and I'm all for it. It definitely adds a lot more replayability to the game. Another thing that works really well with the replayability is the fact that Rise of the Ronin features a co-op system that allows you to invite friends or matchmake and play missions together. And it is insanely fun. Sadly, it's a little more limited than I would like. For example, you can't co-op in the open world at all. You can't run quests together or just wander around and BS with your friends. You can only co-op the main missions, and then only if you've previously completed said mission prior to being invited. So if you're trying to play together and you're both on the exact same mission, you can't do it together because neither one of you has completed it prior. Which in my opinion is just freaking stupid. I mean, I get it. They don't want anyone getting spoiled by being thrown into a later mission, blah, blah, blah. But that shouldn't apply to those trying to do the same mission or inviting friends to get us to a set specific mission. Give a spoiler warning or something, fine. But don't restrict something like that. Why even have the co-op system at all at that point? But I digress. The map in the game is a good size, and it'll take you a good long while to open it all up. Luckily, you have your horse and the fast travel system to make it a bit easier. You also have your glider for a bit of aerial fun. Your grappling hook comes in handy as well for getting around and even giving yourself boosts while gliding. Swimming is also a thing, and you can find some very interesting items underwater while diving or sneaking up on unsuspecting enemies from below. Be mindful of your ki gauge though, because if you run out while swimming, you will drown. The story in the game is incredible. It lasts roughly 25 hours, but if you're a completionist, it'll be substantially longer. You're looking at probably 45 plus hours to platinum the game. For those of you that are like me, who like to explore and see the sights, you're looking at even more still. Team Ninja did an absolutely fantastic job on this game, and I give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. Definitely a must play if you're a fan of action RPGs, samurai, and or shinobi. It's one of the best action RPGs to drop in a while, and hands down the best game set in feudal Japan that I have played. Stay tuned to my channel for more videos for Rise of the Ronin, and feel free to check out my character creation videos if you're interested. I will leave a link in the description below for those that are. And that's it for this video, guys. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Later.